Madrid have shown their mettle once more
tonight. Adam, it certainly is, and I take absolutely no pleasure.
So, as you probably know, I'm a big Premier League fan, and and as is a lot of much of the football world, and of course the Premier League being English based, the media is English, and so there's always been a bit of bias towards the Premier League, even if English reporters don't necessarily want to refer to the Premier League. They want to talk about, football is far bigger than England, much as the Premier League and England and the FA would like to think otherwise. But obviously, the biggest story that's been certainly boiling under the, is about the Champions League. Obviously, with the expansion of the Champions League from its current this format of 32 teams, which has been going on for 20 years. I had another video about that, by the way. It's going. It is expanding to 48. It's going to a Swiss format, and of course there's going to be the rise in TV revenue. And one of the things was that two of the top two nations, I should say the nations of in the top two in terms of UEFA coefficients would get an extra spot, and of course so that's led the Premier League has been an almighty battle with the likes of Serie A and the Italy Serie A and the German Bundesliga and Spain's La Liga for that fifth spot. To be one of those two nations with that fifth spot. Unfortunately, of course, unfortunately things haven't quite panned out. Newcastle United, Manchester United exiting out of the Champions League early certainly dealt a blow. And then, of course, Manchester City and Arsenal going on in the quarterfinals has, along with, has dealt another further blow. And you had Liverpool, West Ham going out the quarterfinals in the Europa League. Aston Villa still in the Conference League. By contrast, you've got Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League semi-finals. Bayer Leverkusen's in the newly crowned champions. Bayer Leverkusen are in the semi-finals of the Europa League. With Italy, while they might have lost Napoli and Inter Milan from the Champions League quarterfinals, they sort of managed to kind of recover some ground in the Europa League. They've got Roma in the semi-finals, Fiorentina's in the Europa Conference League. That's a few points as well. I'm not going to go into the point system of that, but essentially, so then effectively Germany, Italy sort of overtook England, the Premier League, and now with Dortmund's 1-0 win over PSG, that's how the system works. Germany's pretty much clinched the top two spot, and they will get a fifth, and they will get an extra spot in the Champions League, regardless of whatever happens with Dortmund or Bayern Munich winning Dortmund winning the competition, because obviously Dortmund, of course, as it stands, are the fifth place team in the Bundesliga, and so they've pretty much done it on merit. They've pretty much earned it all, really, with all their performances against Atletico Madrid and maybe PSG, even if they don't make the final. So well done to Borussia Dortmund. Italy has also clinched it. So Italy's also, it was confirmed actually when Roma and I forgot to mention Atalanta made the semi-finals of the Europa League. Fiorentina also in the Conference League. So, it is. So it is unfortunate. Yeah, I guess it is a bit unfortunate the Premier League, in terms of the. But I guess a lot of Premier League. I guess, is it really going to be a big loss for the Premier League, or I guess and maybe insert. I guess if you're talking spreading the game out wide, maybe it's not a bad thing. I mean, I guess Champions League, with the expansion, it's always been about TV money. You get 2.6 billion euros a season. The competition gets 2.6 billion euros. Obviously, that means a bigger spread of the money across. That's going to expand for the 2023-24-25 season. By the way, that 2.6 billion euros is for the 23 season. I guess, and you're looking, the Premier League has signed a new deal for the next 5 years. That's going to be worth 2.5 billion euros per season. 10 billion euros. So easily the most lucrative league out of all the local domestic leagues. Bundesliga, we're going 23. It was 1.4 billion euros. Serie A signed a 4.5 billion euro deal with Mediaset Media for 5 seasons. That's 0.9 billion. So it's poultry. So Bundesliga, Serie A, it's poultry. And so I guess, yes, the Premier League's going to be disappointed they didn't get the fifth spot, but I think there was a certain Guillaume Bellart said, Crimea River, Premier League's going to miss out. They get 2.5 billion euros a season. That the whole league. I mean, so there were Newcastle. I think Newcastle, Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham. They'll be fine. Really, I think it's good that Bundesliga and Serie A, particularly Serie A, which has had been an economic crisis for the goodness last 20 years. Is getting that extra money, and who knows, maybe that might kick off things. It'll be interesting. Yeah, actually, I should. What is La Liga's broadcasting deal? I think I think it was 1.4 billion. I think. I'm not sure per season. So it is tiny. So it's not the end of the world for the Premier League. In short. Not getting that fifth spot, I mean, it's more a prestige thing, and I'm sure they'll be back this format's going to be around for a while. The Premier League will be back. I mean, just no doubt that they have the money, they will strengthen their squad, and they'll be back. But it's a shame that, But I think from a football point of view, I think it's good that Germany and Italy get it. Maybe Spain might get it. Maybe France. I think France, it'll be nice if they got it as well, or an extra spot. Given the financial issues they've had trying to get a broadcasting deal. But we shall see. So, your thoughts, is it a disaster that Premier League's missed out on getting a fifth Champions League spot, or is it good that someone else gets it from Europe, which is not getting the same extortionate, incredible fees that the Premier League is getting? So, if you like this video, feel free to like and don't forget to subscribe.